The Dallas Cowboys, a franchise synonymous with resilience, star power, and unyielding pursuit of gridiron glory, found themselves thrust into an unimaginable shadow following the heartbreaking death of defensive end Marshawn Kneeland. At just 24, Kneeland's life was cut short by an apparent suicide on November 6, leaving a void that reverberated through the locker room and beyond. In the days that followed, his teammates didn't retreat into silence or solitude. Instead, they forged a collective path through grief, channeling raw emotion into acts of solidarity and service. This story of unity amid devastation underscores the human side of professional sports, where brotherhood transcends touchdowns and tackles. Central to this healing process was defensive tackle Solomon Thomas, a 30-year-old veteran whose own history with loss lent him a poignant authority in guiding his peers. Thomas's sister Ella had tragically died by suicide in 2018, an event that shattered his world and inspired the creation of his nonprofit, the Defensive Line. This organization, dedicated to mental health awareness and suicide prevention in the Black community, became a lifeline during the Cowboys' bye week. On November 10, players gathered not for drills or film study, but to pack food boxes for those in need, a tangible way to honor Kneeland while combating the isolation that can accompany profound sorrow. Being away from each other has been hard, Thomas reflected in an interview on the Cowboys' official website. The bye week, typically a time for rest and reflection, had instead amplified the ache of absence, with teammates scattered and processing privately. So I think coming into the building together meant a lot. This reunion wasn't obligatory, Thomas extended grace, acknowledging the weight of grief. I even told them, "Hey, I understand if you don't want to come," and all of them wanted to come, he continued. We wanted to be around each other because we're all hurting, we feel the absence, and so we want to be there to love on each other. In these words lies the essence of team dynamics, the innate pull toward communal support, where vulnerability strengthens rather than weakens the bond. The gathering was more than logistics, it was a ritual of reclamation. Hours before the charity event, the team convened for their first full assembly since the tragedy, facilitated by head coach Brian Schottenheimer, independent psychologist Heather Tweddle, and director of team security Cable Johnson. This session was a sanctuary for unfiltered expression. We needed a day to be human and to cry and to let everyone know how we felt, Thomas shared. Extremely draining and hard day, hard for everyone involved, hard for everyone who loved Marshawn. So it just meant a lot for Schottenheimer to conduct the day like that. Schottenheimer's leadership, creating space without agenda, exemplified compassionate coaching, allowing players to mourn not as athletes, but as men grappling with mortality. For Thomas, the loss was doubly piercing, a trigger reopening wounds from Ella's passing. It's very triggering for me having lost a sister to suicide, he admitted candidly. Yet, from this pain emerged purpose. But, I definitely have a responsibility to be here for my teammates, to let them know that there's help available, that there's love out there, and that there's a way to move through this together in a way of honoring Marshawn and honoring our own feelings at the same time. His role as a bridge, drawing from personal tragedy to illuminate paths for others, embodies the Defensive Line's mission. Founded in Ella's memory, the nonprofit has distributed over 10,000 awareness kits and partnered with NFL initiatives, proving that advocacy born of grief can ripple outward, saving lives. Kneeland's death itself was a stark tableau of crisis. On the night of November 5, his vehicle crashed during a police pursuit in Texas, after which he fled on foot. His body was discovered the following morning, per local authorities' press release. The abruptness, a promising talent extinguished in pursuit's chaos, left questions unanswered and hearts fractured. Kneeland, drafted in the second round of 2024, had just notched his first NFL touchdown days prior, a milestone that symbolized ascent. His family's statement, issued hours later, captured the profundity of their bereavement. They were still processing the depth of our grief. As Marshawn was making his mark on the football field with the Dallas Cowboys, he held an even more special place off the field. As a devoted son, brother, uncle, cousin, nephew, grandson, and friend, it read. His light shone brightly in every life he touched, and his spirit will continue to live on through the countless hearts he inspired. Kneeland's journey to the pros was a narrative of grit. From Belleville High School in Michigan, where he amassed 110 tackles, 8 sacks, 20 receptions for 330 yards and 5 touchdowns in his senior year, he embodied versatility. At Western Michigan University, over 4 seasons he tallied 149 tackles and 12.5 sacks, his work ethic legendary. Coach David Denham recalled how Kneeland's relentless facility visits, training, reviewing footage, set him apart. That's when you started to see the gradual separation between him and some of the other guys. Drafted by the Cowboys, owner Jerry Jones welcomed him with promise. "Marshawn, we're gonna put a star on that helmet." Kneeland's response? "Humility and hunger. It's a once-in-a-lifetime experience for me, so I'm just excited to be here." In nearly 2 seasons he logged 26 tackles and 1 sack across 18 games, including 4 starts, numbers that belied his potential. Agent Jonathan Persley eulogized him post-tragedy. "Marshawn poured his heart into every snap, every practice, and every moment on the field. To lose someone with his talent, spirit, and goodness is a pain I can hardly put into words." This echoes broader NFL conversations on mental health, where suicides like those of Junior Seau and Aaron Hernandez highlight systemic pressures. Concussions, performance anxiety, isolation from civilian life. The Cowboys' response, integrating psychology, charity, sets a model, aligning with league-wide efforts like the Player Care Foundation. As the team presses on, Kneeland's legacy endures through action. Thomas's initiative turned pain into provision, feeding families while feeding souls. It's a testament to sport's dual role, entertainer and educator, where grief isn't endpoint but catalyst. In honoring the absent, the Cowboys reaffirm presence. For each other, for fans, for a world needing reminders that vulnerability is victory's prelude.